about to change this car and get another one. But this time, I ain't getting no foreign car. I ain't getting no foreign car. I'm just going to get a car that's going to get me from point A to point B. And so I go to the dealership. It was a small private dealership. And as I'm going to this dealership, I say, hey, man, listen. I don't want no foreign car. I don't want no car that already has problems. I just want a car that's good. I just need a car that can get me from point A to point B. And the dealer was like, okay, my friend, I got you. And he take me to a Nissan Altima. So when I got in this car, it was a 2016 Nissan Altima. When I got inside of this car, I said, ooh, this nice. But it's not like the 2013 BMW. The interior was different than the interior on the BMW. But what it did have, what was better about it was that it wasn't in a shop. You see, when you identify the payment, sometimes you have to go to a different source to pay the right amount to get something great. I went to a different place and got another car because I changed the way I looked at it. And when I looked at it, I understood, like, yeah, it's time to get another one. Because this car ain't getting fixed. This car ain't getting fixed. So why not I just change myself? And so that's what I started to do. I identified the payment. I identified the problem. I identified who can solve it. And so when I went to the first person and paid the payment and paid the fee, I got the car back and it had problems. I got the car back again, it had more problems. I got the car back again, it had even more problems. So it wasn't the fact I was afraid to pay the price, I was paying the price to the wrong person. Because when I took the 2013 BMW to actual BMW car dealership, they fixed it. But they fixed it for like $3,000. I said, man, why would I ever get this car again? But when I paid it and it got out the shop, I automatically took it to go get a Nissan Altima. Because I was changing myself. You see, that's the next point I want to hit on, is that when you identify the payment, sometimes you have to change the way you pay. 2, change the way you pay. Change the way you pay. And if y'all aren't watching this right now, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments what is your biggest takeaway so far from paying the price. When you change the way you pay, you have to change the way you think about yourself. You have to change what you think about yourself, and you have to change how you think about yourself. I remember growing up in a single parent household, being raised by a single mom, raising 3 boys by herself. And as I'm being raised by a single mom who's raising 3 boys by herself, I'm learning how to survive. I'm learning how to be a good person. I'm learning how to be responsible. I'm just learning because I'm a kid, and my mama is teaching us the right way. She's raising us the right way. And there's a Bible scripture, Proverbs 22:6, that say, train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he get older, he will not depart from you. That was the first scripture that I ever remembered. It was like in my mind, I'm like, this is a good scripture. And I held on to it. And what I've learned is that when you are raised a certain type of way, how you were raised, you will always hold on to. I was raised by a single mom who raised 3 boys by herself. And she did a phenomenal job raising 3 boys by herself. But for me to become a man, I have to learn from a man. And so I remember going to this program called the OK program. And it was a program full of men, full of police officers. And as I'm there in this program, I'm seeing men. I'm learning from men. We're in this program, and now we're learning about different aspects of life. And so when I had to change the way the payment was, and when I had to change the way I was paying, I had to change my environment. My mom, who was a single mom, she did a phenomenal job raising 3 boys to young men. But for young men to be men, young men has to learn from men. And so when I was in the program, I'm seeing how the men are conducting themselves, but I only get to see it once every week. I'm only able to see it once every week, one time every week. I'm able to see it one time every week. That's what it's called. And I'm able to see it, but I only get a glimpse of it because I can't see it every single day. And so when I start to really like develop myself, learn more about myself, join the Marine Corps, leave hometown, I start to learn how to be a man. You see, the way I had to change the way I was paying because I had to change my environment. You see, the program was good because it had examples for us to follow. But it was only so limited because the examples was only for once a week. So when I really start to pay attention, like, who am I? Who do I want to become? Who can I become? Who will I like to become? And so I'm learning, I'm asking different questions, and I'm going to different men, and I'm going around to ask different men different questions about life, about surviving, about providing, about just being a man. Because I need to learn how to be a man. I don't need to learn how to be a young man. I need to learn how to be a man. And so I remember this one time when we was in boot camp, and when I was in Marine Corps boot camp, it was this one kid who was an extreme mama's boy. I thought I was an extreme mama's boy. Nah, this young man ain't had nothing on me. He was a mama's boy to the T. Let me tell you why. Because he didn't have respect for authority.